right, happy Saturday, Arizona, and welcome into Today in AZ. I'm Allison Rodriguez.
And I'm Justin Pizzera. Our weather team is making it a weather impact alert day because you got to look outside. It is wet out there. This was the scene on the 51 near Bell with road signs telling folks to slow down because of those wet roads. This round of rain is coming just weeks after places like Scottsdale and Globe saw devastating and deadly flooding. This morning we have teams of reporters. I mean, they are everywhere throughout the valley. We have them in Globe and Flagstaff as well.
Yeah, we're really covering Arizona here. First for you, let's send things over to meteorologist Ginger Jeffries, tracking the storms in real time here. What are you seeing right now?
Lots of rainfall, and it's basically acting kind of like a donut all around the region. But as you can see, take a look at this satellite radar. So much bright banding, where the focus yesterday really seemed to be the west side, and we really saw that up until, I'd say, about 1 a.m. And then everything shifted over to the east side. Some of the rainfall totals approaching 2 inches already. So now take a look. This is our live radar. So this is where we have rain coming down as we speak. And again, west side is not like it's dry, but you're getting a little bit of a breather compared to all this heavy saturation that we're seeing coming in on the east side. I mean, Fountain Hills, brighter banding. I've been tracking. I mean, there's just too many cells to try and pop every one of them up. But these cells that I've been watching for the last couple hours can produce up to 2.5 inches of rain per hour. Are they sticking around for a solid hour? No. This is a slow moving low. So when one of these cells stalls, and that's what happens in the higher elevations, that's when we start to see the flood potential. But you just saw that update and the deeper banding. So yeah, just getting a little heavy surge. What do you need to be ready for? Next 12 hours of your day. Take a look at this. 6 a.m. Yes, we've got heavy saturation primarily on the east side of the valley. This is going to push on through, and then we should be letting up. In fact, I see significant improvement after 8 to 9 o'clock, with most of this moisture really pushing down into the southeast quarter of the state. I mean, remember yesterday when I was showing you this all morning on Today in AZ, you see these wind vectors? This is going to show you where the moisture is headed. And right now it does look like by this evening, everything is going to be pushing down into the southeast quarter. Doesn't mean we're free and clear. We still have some of that pop-up moisture potential. I think these could be dynamic in nature. So tonight we could see some pop-up thunderstorms, but moisture sticking around literally through the early part of next week. Now, the global impact from all this will be your temperatures. I mean, numbers are going to be way down courtesy of amount of rain that's coming in. And we're still prepping for up to 4 inches of rain in our local mountains. Overhead, I'm seeing just about an inch around Phoenix, but some of our perimeter cities are closing in on 2 inches, like Glendale. That's why we have this flash flood watch through today for all the areas you see in green, because more rain is coming in. I'm tracking what's next coming up in my full forecast.
Yeah, we're certainly not done, like you mentioned. Ginger, thank you so much. But here's the thing. This rain, it could have a devastating impact for communities that are still recovering after deadly flooding just 2 weeks ago, like Globe, where the rain is coming down still right now.
Our Chase Golightly joins us live from Globe. There's a curfew in effect, Chase, and then we heard we're getting another round of rain, and it's like, oh no. I mean, these people, they're not even done recuperating from the last one.
Good morning, guys. That's right. There's still a lot that needs to be done to clean up from that last storm. And talking about that curfew is set by the city to try to keep people safe. It actually starts right here. You can see there's a law enforcement officer parked down there at the end. Now, last night, we actually saw them. They're very strict about this. We saw people coming around here looking at the damage, because check out all these businesses right here. We were seeing people crossing that line, checking out the damage, that law enforcement officer coming right out and telling them, hey, you got to get back. And you can see this is why they chose this area to be blocked off and have the curfew. All these shops right here got significant damage from the floodwaters that tore through this area. We're talking about 65 miles per hour, and significantly damaged this area right here. What you're also going to notice is all those sandbags right in front of the businesses here. Pretty much every single shop that we saw coming into Globe had dozens and dozens of sandbags. Now, I spoke with one business owner who owns the antique shop here. She was also hit very hard from that raging floodwater. She said rain and mud really stacked up in front of her shop, causing that damage. The only thing that really survived was the items that were on shelves that were about 6 feet high. So when we're talking about having to go through this whole other situation again, she's really hoping for the best, but expecting the worst.
So I'm just praying that if it does come, we're not going to be hit like we were before. And also we got to think about other businesses down here too. I mean, 2 buildings now have to be demolished.
Now, homeowners are doing the same exact thing, getting prepared. We saw several with sandbags piled up all around their homes. At this location, we were told by the homeowner that they were living in, when they were inside and that water came rushing through, that they were actually trapped in their home for a little bit until that water went away. The homeowner even told me she saw a car floating down the street right in front of her and went right into the creek. Of course, we know dozens of cars were swept away by these flood waters and were recovered. I believe the last count was just over 60. And as far as cleanup efforts, we even saw crews yesterday still cleaning up the propane tanks. That was another big trouble and a hazardous situation that people were really worried about. All those propane tanks, about half of them full, swept away from the floodwaters, still getting cleaned up at this time. So again, just a lot of effort happening. As for this curfew, it is going to stop once the sun starts coming up, so that should be here soon. This will be back open. People will be able to get back in, not only to check on their spots and keep them protected, but also to continue those cleanup efforts. We're live in Globe. Chase Golightly today in AZ.
All right, Chase, thank you so much. We'll check back in with him a little bit later on because we do see the rain, or at least the wet roads there behind you. So it is definitely still coming. And with so much rain, in different parts of the valley, the roads, they're going to be slippery out there. So it's just a warning ADOT has for everybody that when it's really coming down, just be slow and, give everybody a break. We've got the big truckers out there as well. Just want to be safe.
Yeah, that water really splashes up. Can't see. Our Jen Wall is on the roads this morning tracking that storm. What are you seeing out there right now, Jen?
Hey, good morning to you guys. We are on the 10 and you can see it is raining here. Not too hard, but there are parts of the valley where it is just pouring right now. All the ADOT signs this morning, they're saying rain, wet roads, slow down, be careful. You absolutely need to do that. I know when I was headed into work, I was getting passed by folks and then they were doing the whole freeway spray thing and it completely blocked my windshield. So this is not the morning to mess around and try and rush out the door because you're going to create bigger problems for yourself than necessary. So this morning we're actually going to head to the East Valley because, oh man, checking rainfall totals already there in the last several hours since about midnight, picked up almost an inch of rain in many parts of Mesa, about a half an inch in parts of Gilbert. I know there's a ton of water on the roads there, so we're going to take a look at conditions and see just how things have shaped up overnight. As far as some driving tips for you, I know we're about to head into the tunnel here, so we're going to lose the rain for a second live from our weather tracker. But it's just really important to make sure your headlights are on while you're driving today, even during the day. And if you're planning to drive kind of far, maybe you're heading up north, check your tires, make sure that your tread depth is good to go, that they're properly inflated, because if you have to pull over on the side of the road to change a tire today, you might be getting dumped on. Another good tip for you that you might not think about is to avoid cruise control. Here we go. We're back out in the rain and oh man, it is coming down in Phoenix this morning. Make sure that you're also, again, not using that cruise control. It's really good when it's dry most of the year here, but when it's wet, you can easily lose control. And you can see there's unfortunately a broken down vehicle off to the side here where we're driving on the 10. So again, stay with us throughout the morning. We're going to be driving around the valley. We're going to hop out too if we see any flooding on the side of the roads. We're going to head to some of these areas in Mesa where we've actually seen some of these really high rainfall totals. Again, about an inch of rain in the last 6 hours. So if you were thinking your kids were going to have a sports game today, I don't know. I think there were already cancellations that were being talked about last night. I think it's very possible that many, many more are going to be added early this morning.
Yeah, Jen and I were talking about that. She's on the group chat, with the moms saying, hey, is it going to happen? These games, maybe not, because the fields are just going to be soaked.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah. All right, Jen, thank you so much. And something to keep in mind here, just for everyone as we look at Weather Tracker, is it may not be coming down pouring, raining like crazy, but it is still coming down steadily, right? So it's not stopping. So once you look at that throughout the day, steady rainfall, even if it's light all day, it's going to make an impact.
Yeah, and Ginger is saying that that is kind of the good thing, though, just that slow and steady instead of this like horrible downpour all at once.
Yeah.
So, all right, Jen, we'll check back in with you in just a few minutes.